Welcome in to Between Two Meeples. I'm Armando Castaneda, and today I get to talk to you about 6 games that I played in the month of October that either exceeded my expectations or fell flat on their ass. So stick with me, we'll break it down. Foundations of Rome is going to be the first game that we talk about. So Foundations of Rome actually exceeded all of my expectations because I had very low expectations on it because I didn't want to like Foundations of Rome. Foundations of Rome is a very expensive game with a massive box. Those were two things that I didn't want to do. I didn't want to spend the money and I didn't want to find a place to store this thing. But I was able to play it this last month at one of my friend's house and I absolutely loved it. To the point to where I went to go and see if it was still $250, $300, and it still was. But still won't pay that price, but it is still worth the value, I feel like. The game was great. The game had so much strategy. The teach of this game to new people took about 10 minutes because the game is simple. It has, ticket to ride like rules. It's very simple, but it has very deep in strategy. Unlike Bunny Kingdom, where you're only worrying about yourself and you're only worrying about what resources that you get into your little area, this one has 3 different types of buildings, and those buildings trigger off of, other buildings. Now you have player interaction because your buildings now get victory points if they're next to somebody else's building of the type that you need. So all of the buildings within the city now, combo off of each other. So it doesn't have to be your building that it's next to because you can get victory points if it's next to the right building. So that made it just feel more, what's the word I'm looking for? More satisfying to play a game like this. Not to mention the game is quick. The game is cut up into 3 different eras. As soon as all those plot cards get pulled, the era ends, you go into a little round of scoring, and then you continue going on again. The game only has 3 things that you can do. You can either buy a plot, you can place or upgrade a city building, or you can, get money. That is the only 3 things that you can do on your turn. The game just felt very rewarding. It felt very good. Still to the point though, I'm not going to pay $250, but it is a great game. It's a great gateway game. Like I would put it up there with one of the, in my top 5 of great gateway games if it didn't cost $250, $300. So that's how much I enjoyed Foundations of Rome. The next game on the agenda is called Head Trip. Head Trip was made by Cards Against Humanity team. And I got it thinking, you know what? I love Cards Against Humanity. I have the bigger, blacker box. Why would I not enjoy Head Trip, right? They seem to know what they're doing when it comes to games. Well, I was sorely mistaken because Head Trip left me scratching my head going, I don't exactly know what these guys were thinking when they made this game. It felt like it was made for, pre-teenagers, 10, 15, 16-year-olds that find dumb, overly disgusting games that just have very crude humor for not really any rhyme or reason. So I'm just going to pull out a couple of these so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. So the first one, I'm just randoming this. This is your quinceañera. Your abuelita has just asked you this question. So the whole point of this game is you need to pretend you are a 15-year-old girl at your quinceañera and your grandma is going to ask you one of these questions. Do you like abortion? What is your response? A. B. O. C. D. Ooga. So everyone is supposed to sit here and try to figure out which one of those 4 answers is going to best fit me if I was a 15-year-old girl. Not very fun. Like, especially when half of these cards are so dumb that, I don't know how to answer them. Like, you're just basically guessing, I hope this is how you feel. And that could have been a dumb one. So I pulled out 2, just in case. She asked me, what's my favorite book? You would say, A. How about Piss Guzzling is the Way of Life by Wendy Sprinkler Goldblatt? Or B. Fuck Your Sandals and Fuck Your Ugly Orphan Son by Jimmy Jizz Jipperson. Could have been C. Oh no, it's Bats Again by Batman's Ugly Orphan Son, Sick Boy Jimperson. Or it could have been D. Why Jimmy Jimperson should fuck his ugly shoes and die of stomach rupture by Batman. That's right, Batman, you fucking worthless human foreskin. So, you kind of see how, like, don't get me wrong, I love party games. I love dirty, crude humor as much as the next person. But this game just felt like it was forced. It felt flat. It wasn't funny. Like we're sitting there going, I don't know when I'm supposed to laugh. Like a lot of these things are just too dumb to even, like, not even realistic. I think the point of why Cards Against Humanity was so funny is because you took things that were legit, you took things that were real, and you paired them up with like something that was just funny at the time or crude and humor, like, or it's because your grandma played it or your son played it and he had no idea what it was. Like, that's what made Cards Against Humanity so much fun during the party time. This just felt like forced humor that would only be funny for like a 12-year-old kid to laugh at, because everyone else I felt played this, we were just sitting there waiting for the game to be funny, waiting for the game to get good. And after 3 different times, 3 different plays with 3 different groups, like, it fell flat multiple times. And we have now, this is not a game for us apparently. Let's get back into some of the good things. Once again, I don't have all these games because I do go to a board game night every single Monday. So one of the games that I was able to play was Lords of Vegas. And I don't know how many of you have played Lords of Vegas or heard it. It's a relatively old game. I think that was the one that came out. I don't remember if it was like 07 or 2011, but it's been out for a while. And I loved it so much that after I was done playing it, I looked it up, and it is back on Kickstarter. You can late pledge it right now. I'm not sure how long it's open for, but this game reminded me a little bit of Foundations of Rome, where you have this area where you're trying to go over there and collect, or, your bunny kingdoms, where you have these plots, and this one's based in the Las Vegas Strip. So it is cut up into the major roads. You have the strip going down the middle, and then you have 2 other main intersections that are cutting up your lots. So you have 6 different plots that you can gain. Some of the plots are about 6 squares big. Some of them, I think, were up to 9 or 12. I think one of them, I don't really remember. But there was 7 different types of casinos that you can get, and you are rolling dice, you are betting chips, it is just fun from start to finish. I could not believe how much fun I had playing Lords of Vegas. It is a very simple game. You flip a card, you get a plot, you go over there, you say, do you want to put your dice on this, yes or no? You go over there, and then you get to put your dice down, you build up, you get to pick what color you want your casino to be. Hopefully it's next to another one of your plots, so you can pick the same casino color, because the bigger the casino, the more points you get. And one of the greatest things about the game was the scoring track. So once you start going up the scoring track, you had to have a bigger casino. So you couldn't get past this one until you had a level 2 casino. And then you can go up the track a little bit more, and then you can't get past that one until you have a level 3 casino, all the way up until you needed to have, I believe, a level 9 casino. And if you had a level 9 casino, you essentially won the game. So it was a race to either the first one to get to level 9, or the first one, once that last plot card gets flipped, the game gets over and victory points are then counted. The other fun part about this whole entire thing is that you can take over somebody else's casino without them even knowing. You get to roll dice, and the highest number of dice that comes out, it's your dice that pulls out the 5 or the 6, and that is now the highest number. Now you have overtaken the casino, and now you steal the victory points from whoever had started the casino, which is another great way for player interaction. And not to mention the fact that at the end of your turn, one of the things you can do is bet money at somebody else's casino. So I can go there and I can take 10 of my chips and I say, I want to bet. And essentially it's like craps, where if you roll a 1 through a 5, I believe, you win. And then it's like 6 through 9 or 5 through 9, the house wins. And then 10, 11, 12, you win. And you're rolling 2 dice. So depending on what those dice come out, you either can double your money or you can lose your money to the casino that you bet it at. And as the casino, you have the option to either match it fully, or you can only match half and the bank will match the other half. So you're not losing that much money. But mind you, you might not be gaining that much money either if you're not going to go ahead and bet it full. So it was just fun from start to finish. If you guys have not heard of it, Lords of Vegas, look it up. The next game on the agenda is Beast. Now, Beast fell a little bit flat for me, and it's not because it was a bad game. Out of, most of the games on my fell flat on the list are really good games, and people really enjoy them. On my perspective, one of the main reasons why I didn't like Beast was because I don't think I enjoy the one versus many game mechanism. I have yet to find a game where the 1v many has really stood out and like I want to play it. Like I just don't really enjoy where, I guess it is co-op, but it's not co-op because now we're trading on somebody else. Like I just don't really enjoy, having that one person, because normally what happens is that in 1v many games is I'm usually the one because no one wants to be the one by themselves, or when somebody does get the one, then then everyone's complaining because now we're picking on that. It's not a very good mechanic, especially when you have like teenage kids that that don't really fully focus all the time. So I have yet to figure out like one game where it's 1v many that I can really bring to my table and really enjoy it. So that's one of the main reasons why Beast kind of fell flat for me. And that's just because of my game group and my area. So just note that if you feel the same way that I do, like a one versus many game is not up your alley, like I would probably steer clear of Beast. Even though it was a great game. Like the artwork on it was great. The mechanics were great. The game worked out amazing. So like don't take this as like I didn't like the game. They did an amazing job with Beast. It is so much liked and people enjoy playing it so much. The second round of Beast is on Kickstarter as we speak. I think you can late pledge it, or it might be still open. I'm not sure, but that's how much people enjoyed it. And I thought I was going to be able to enjoy it. I thought this might be the one game that's going to change my mind about 1v many, and it was good. If I was going to play a 1v many game again, like I would play this one again. But I would never buy it and add it to my collection because of the fact that my family, my game group that we have currently, like I don't think that I can get anybody to play it other than, them playing it and me having to be the Beast the whole entire time to ensure that, the Beast was being played correctly, because it's very hard. It was a heavier style game, and it was a little bit more thinky, a little bit more strategy, and a lot of words on cards that you need to be able to take care of. So unless you have, 2-3 friends that are willing to set up and, dig into the lore of Beast and get into that, like this is probably a heavier 1v3 game that you're probably not going to want to dive into. So that is Beast. That is one of the reasons why I didn't like it. And that is really the main one. Other than that, it was a great game. The next game I had to pull off the back of the shelf here is Voidfall. So Voidfall, in my multiple plays that I've had this last month, it has exceeded my expectations as a Euro, but it fell flat on its ass as a 4X game that they had pitched it as. So I'm going to make this quick and easy. Voidfall is an amazing Euro game, very hard to set up, very heavy. Just the amount of effort that they put into making this Euro work was a lot. The board game setup is a lot. Like everything about it is a lot. But during gameplay, everything about it is so rewarding if you like the really heavy Euros. I think this thing is rated at like a 4.5, 4.6. It is pretty high up there. Now, as far as the 4X goes, because they did label this thing as a 4X game. It's even right here at the back of the box. Epic space strategy with 4X elements. So in my mind, if you do not know what 4X is, I'll let you know because I have it written down here because I forget it sometimes. First X, explore. So this one, sure, you can say you're exploring things, but you're not. The map is predetermined, pre-set up every single game, so you know exactly what the map's going to look like. So the only thing that you're doing is going from one realm to the next, to the next, to the next. There really is no exploring of new tiles. What, in my mind, the explore is expand. So this is where you make your little house, your little home base bigger. So you're expanding out into what you should have been exploring. Yes, there is expand in this game. Exploit. This is where you get resources from where you expanded to. Yes, this is a heavy resource driven, heavy worker placement type game. So you will exploit your terrain that you are on. And then exterminate. So this one, you will never exterminate anybody from the game. You can't exterminate the Voidfall, and you can't exterminate any other player. The only thing that you can do is pick on them so much that they are driven back into their home base, and hopefully they can find enough resources or something to be able to get a ship out and try to battle you in some fit form or function. But physically exterminating somebody from the game is impossible in this one. So out of the 4 X's that we just talked about, 2 of them are a yes, and you might be able to say, give me a half a point for explore, so maybe 2.5 X's at most. So the fact that they put 4X elements on here really misled me, but I am completely okay with the misleading of the 4X because of how amazing the Euro game is in this one. The only thing wrong with this game is if you have the Galactus box, whatever the heck Galactic box is, the miniatures that are in here will drive you insane. I do not understand why they just didn't give me one 3D printed piece, but they give you 3D printed ships, and then you have to put the 3D printed ship on a little standee, and then you have to put the standee on the actual base. So there's 3 different pieces that you have to build up your ships every single time that you setting up gameplay. So setting up this game will take you at least an hour every single time, and it is not even joking. I think after the 3rd time that we did this with the same 4 different players and everyone was still helping me set this thing up, it still took me about 45 minutes to get everything set up to the point to where we're ready. And that was with having 4 people helping me set up the game. So it is big, it is massive, but it is one of the heaviest and most amazing Euros out there. And I had so much fun playing this game. And if you guys are interested in it, just be forewarned that it is heavy and it takes a long time to set up, but it is well worth it if you like Euro games. Last but not least is Marvel Champions. And without having me to get on a soapbox and tell you all the reasons why I didn't like it, I'm going to just dive straight to the point. LCG, I found out it's not for me. I don't like the fact that I need to buy multiple sets of cards constantly to try to make the game fresh. I don't like LCGs. The game itself was good. I enjoyed the gameplay. Do I think it's the best card game? No. I like, deck building games. This is a deck construction game, not deck building. So I went into it thinking it was going to be a deck builder. I was wrong. Deck construction. So you get to change and choose your deck at the beginning. You get to swap out whatever you don't want, and then you're basically stuck with that hand throughout the whole entire gameplay. So that was another letdown. The biggest letdown of them all is the fact that it does not play 3 and 4 players well. You can go look on BGG. The community says it's 1 to 2. I agree with the community. I think it's best at 1, 2 players max. I tried playing it with my sons and my wife, and the game just felt not great, not good. Not winnable at times. It wasn't fun. So that's one of the biggest things that I look for, especially in games. That say it's 1 to 4. I want it to be able to play up to 4 players well, and this was just one of the ones that was a big letdown for me. And mind you, I did buy it in January 2022. I probably should have done more research that it was probably more of a 2-player game, but at the end of the day, it was a letdown. It's still a great game. So for all my solo gamers out there, for all my guys and gals who do like LCGs and want to get into that, Marvel Champions is a good place to start. They do have, especially if you like the Marvel Cinematic Universe, this is a good one. I would prefer, if you liked Marvel and you want to get into Marvel, I feel like Marvel United is the way to go. But Marvel Champions, it's not bad. It is just, you need to have the right niche and you need to have the right people to be able to play it. So that is how I feel about Marvel Champions. Alright, that's our video for today. I hope you have liked and enjoyed the video. If you found it useful and informative in any way, please do me a favor and hit that like and subscribe button. It helps my little channel out in so much. So please and thank you for doing that. If you want more of these videos, please stay tuned. If you liked this video, there will be another one coming out in November on games that are, or in December on games that I played in November. So please stay tuned for more videos. I am Armando Castaneda. This is Between Two Meeples. I'm out.